Well, I was flipping through some news today and I ran across this interesting little piece of socialist garbage. Billionaire wants to build woke, equitable utopia in the American desert. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Okay, let's get into this. Billionaire Mark Lohr unveiled plans last week to build a woke utopian city from scratch somewhere in the American desert. A former Walmart executive and e-commerce tycoon told Bloomberg the new city, called Telosa, after the ancient Greek word telos, meaning highest purpose, will aim to solve the growing wealth gap in America, which he says is the country's biggest challenge. Most civilizations in history at some point fall, right? Yes. This is going to bring down America. Okay. Not the actual socialists that are inside of America, working in our government and our media. Those aren't going to bring down America. Your utopian city is going to bring down America. Whatever. But before it does, Lohr is determined to try out his version of a solution at a 150,000 acre modern metropolis with eco-friendly architecture, sustainable energy production, and a drought-resistant water system. Oh, you know what goes through my head when I read that? Eco-friendly. I'm just gonna bypass that one because they make some pretty good strides in eco house building. You ever seen those videos of Lego blocks that are made out of foam or something, or I don't remember what they're made out of, like wood shavings and whatnot. They're all insulated, all on their own. They're pretty cool. I'll give them that. The designs of those are probably limited, but I'll give him that. Sustainable energy production, though, unless he's planning on building a nuclear power plant out there, you're in for a world of hurt. Solar energy and wind turbines, if that's all you got going for you, you're screwed. Have you seen California blackouts on a regular occasion, telling people to turn their computers off to conserve power? You're not to mention the water supply problem. I mean, they can't even water their crops. What do you think you're going to do? And a drought resistant water system. Okay, well, you know what you're going to be doing? You're going to be drinking your pee every day. You're going to pee in a bowl. It's going to go down a system, down your pipes, into a recycle center. It's going to recycle your pee, and it's going to come back right out your tap. I hope you like pee water. That's going to be great. Okay. The mission of Telosa is to create a more equitable, sustainable future. That's our North Star, Lohr said in a promotional video, according to CNN, describing his proposal as the most open, the most fair, and the most inclusive city in the world. Most open, I doubt that, because if it was the most open, you would have to let everybody in. Everybody. Homeless people from San Francisco who's going to poop on your streets. Everybody. Right? Drug dealers. Mafia. Yeah, good luck with that. The most fair. And you know how equity works, right? You take a guy who's got more opportunity because he's got more money, or blah blah blah. He's got $100,000, say that, and then another guy comes in, he's got $10. What am I going to do? I don't have they're gonna, instead of taking the $100,000 from the one guy and splitting it between the two, so they're both equal. No. That's not how it's going to work. They're going to take $100,000 from the first guy and let him keep $10. So then he will be on equal footing with the other guy with $10. Sounds good, right? I like it. Planners are reportedly considering areas in Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, Texas. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And the Appalachian region as potential sites for the city. According to Lohr, the proposal is based on ideas espoused by American economist and social theorist Henry George in his 1879 book, Progress and poverty, George essentially argues that private land ownership is to blame for rising inequality. They've been griping about this since 1879. Good Lord, this is never going away. In 1879, some guy was complaining about private land ownership. Did you say Marxist? Let's watch a stupid video.
When I was 4 years old, I wanted to be a farmer. And my grandma, she used to tell me, no, you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, or you don't want to be a farmer. And I said, no, I want to be a farmer because they grow stuff from nothing. And I guess it was in my DNA at an early age. I love to grow stuff from nothing.
I don't believe you. If farming was in your DNA, you'd be a farmer. I'm sorry, if you had the opportunity to go to college, graduate high school, go to college, get a business degree, figure out what you want to do in the business world, go to Walmart, be an exec, e-commerce tycoon. Farming was never in your DNA. You would have made plans to start going to agriculture classes. You would have been an FFA. You would have moved your butt out into the country somewhere where there was plenty of farmland, worked on a farm, interned on farms. It's not that hard to do. You would have done it if it was in your, you're full of crap.
And every idea starts with that seed. Well, today in America, we have a growing income and wealth disparity. The quality of life.
Fallacy. That's not true. Incoming wealth disparity, their idea of incoming wealth disparity, they think the middle class is shrinking, but the middle class is getting poorer. That's what they say, which is not true, because it's been proven already that middle class isn't getting poorer, they're getting richer. The middle class is moving upwards, upward mobility, and they don't like that. They really don't. They don't like people coming up after their money. They made their money. They want to kick the ladder out from under people.
Life is not what it should be. And I think with Tolosa, we have a chance to change that, or at least test a new model to see if we can learn something at the very least. And in the best case scenario, we can create a higher quality of life for millions of people. And I had this seed of an idea years ago, and it's starting to get momentum, and it's super exciting. The cities of the future are going to need companies like Archer. We need disruptors. We need companies that are thinking about how to disrupt the current status quo. We need people with big ideas. We need people to take chances, take risk, try things. You know, we're trying Tolosa. We're trying this new model for society. Others need to try other models, other ideas. We need to take risks. We need to go back to the fundamental roots of what it means to be an American.
Where do you think you live? What country do you think you live in? Our history is nothing but people taking risks with their own money, with their own time, their own ideas or dreams, taking risks and failing, taking risks and failing and failing and failing until they take that last risk and they succeed. How many people have started businesses in garages and now are sitting in Silicon Valley making millions and millions and billions of dollars? How many people are doing that? People who are risk takers, people who are innovators in a land where that is fostered and you're allowed to do that. And it was a much easier back in the day. It's not as easy as it was. Today, it's so much harder with government regulations. It's sometimes it's impossible to even open up a new business because the government is in your junk. Yeah, you're disruptors, all right. You're disruptors to the American system that got us this far. Okay. Along those lines, Lohr claims that the current system of capitalism has significant flaws, many of them due to the land ownership model that America was built on. Horse crap. America was founded on the idea of private ownership, private property. Constitution even says so. That is not the downfall or the problems of this society, not by a stretch. If you don't get to own your property, nobody gets to own their property. Who owns your property? The government owns your property. And if they own your property, they get to tell you what you can do on it. They get to tell you what you can't do on it. They already have their greedy little hands in how you manage your own property through the Bureau of Land Management and the EPA. How many times have I seen or read some article about the EPA coming in and just destroying somebody's plans on their own property because it's going to mess up the ecosystem of a little creek or a little patch of wood somewhere. I mean, the overreach is ridiculous. So yeah, they find their way in to controlling you. But just imagine if they owned your land, then when you're screwed. You can't make improvements. They'll tell you what you can and can't do in your own house. You can't build on. You can't add additions. You can't use this type of paint. Whatever. You know how government regulations are. They're overreaching. They're ridiculous. And that's exactly what it would be like if we didn't own anything. And that's the way they want us to go. You will own nothing and you will love it. That's their motto now. While the current economic system is a growth engine, it has led to increasing inequality. The project's website explains, instead, it touts a new economic vision called equitism. There's equity again, as a way to build inclusive growth. If you went into the desert where the land was worth nothing or very little, and you created a foundation that owned the land, and people moved there, and tax dollars built infrastructure, and we built one of the greatest cities in the world, the foundation could be worth $1 trillion. The foundation could be worth $1 trillion. This foundation is going to be a government within the city. Well, most cities have a government, but the government owns everything, right? They tax you. They build on the government. They build onto your city through the government. And that the foundation's mission was to take the appreciation of the land and give it back to the citizens in the form of medicine, education, affordable housing, social services. So imagine the amount of money it would take to keep building the city the way they want to. People living in this place making a certain amount of money. I couldn't tell you what the amount of money they're going to pay people who work there, because the government's going to own all the businesses, all the utilities, all the stores, everything. You're just going to work there and you're going to live there. You're live-in workers to these people. They pay you a wage and then they tax you 50%, 75%, 80%. What? They give you free medicine, free education, affordable housing. I can only imagine what that is. 16-foot by 16-foot cubicle with a fold-out bed in the wall, social services, free baby care. I don't know. You're going to be living in stables, basically, nice-looking stables. Bloomberg reported that the initial phase of the project would be built to accommodate 50,000 residents across roughly 1,500 acres, by 2030 at a cost of $25 billion. But over 40 years, the city would eventually grow to house 5 million people across 150,000 acres at a cost of $400 billion. They got to make that money through the people who work there, right? Or the equity they have in what they've already built. They're going to have to buy. Where are they getting this money? They're going to have to borrow it, right? On what the city's worth. Lohr, who is reportedly worth $4 billion, ain't got enough money to build this thing, hired Copenhagen-based architectural firm Billionaire Group to design the city. Renderings of Tolosa displayed on the proposal's website show pedestrians leisurely strolling in a futuristic city surrounded by greenery with air taxi systems for transportation. So I don't know if it's flying Amtrak, air taxis. What does that even mean? Flying cars, flying trains. Amtrak didn't work out so well. Nobody rides it. In its write-up, Bloomberg notes that Lohr is not the first ambitious entrepreneur to envision building a city from scratch, and he likely won't be the last. Sarah Moser, an associate professor of geography at Montreal's McGill University, who studies planned cities, told the outlet that she has identified at least 150 city-building projects backed by either governments or private groups. None of them have hit their population targets. So basically, people don't want to live there. People don't want to live in a socialist utopia because it's not a utopia. It is a oppressive, top-down woke fest. They have no freedom. People love freedom. People want freedom. People yearn for freedom. And when you oppress people, that's all they want. Why do you think people are coming here in droves? Because we have freedom. And they don't. They can't fathom this. They can't get it through their head. You know what? Build a city. Build it. I want you to build this city so bad. I want you to erect this giant monument to socialism. And when it crumbles and it turns into a ghost town, it will be a shining beacon in the desert that we can point to and laugh at all these champagne socialists who think they can possibly make a utopia in this world. People are people. People are gonna people. They do what they want to do. They do bad things. When you get two people together, they can't agree on anything, and it turns to fighting. It turns to arguing, bickering. Try that with 50,000 people. It's not going to work out for you. Just saying. Hey, if you don't like socialism, but you did like this video, just go down there and shoot the like button for me. And if you got any comments on socialism, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Till next time, God be with you.